Bonjour tout le monde. On June 20th at approximately 12:10 a.m., a Chinook tactical helicopter was involved in a crash in the Ottawa River near Garrison Petawawa during a nighttime training flight. 4 members of the Royal Canadian Air Force were in the helicopter at the time of the incident. Le 20 juin, 10 minutes après minuit, un hélicoptère tactique Chinook s'est écrasé lors d'un vol d'entraînement de nuit dans la rivière des Outaouais près de Petawawa. 4 membres de l'aviation royale canadienne se trouvaient à bord de l'hélicoptère au moment de l'incident. 2 members were rescued shortly after the crash, and 2 were missing. Immediately, search and rescue assets were mobilized to locate the missing aircrew. Malheureusement, je peux confirmer que les 2 membres des forces armées canadiennes portés disparus ont été retrouvés morts hier. Tragically, I can confirm that the 2 missing Canadian Armed Forces members were found deceased by searchers yesterday. Out of respect for the families, we will not be releasing their names. This incident is a painful reminder that members of the Canadian Armed Forces undertake great risk to defend Canada, whether in combat or in training, and we owe them our deepest gratitude. The 2 other members in the helicopter were taken to Pembroke Hospital and were later released to the care of Canadian Armed Forces personnel in accordance with post-accident protocols. Both were treated for minor physical injuries, and they are being offered support at this time. Since the incident occurred, we have been working with military and civilian personnel involved in rescue and recovery efforts, which have involved the following: 110 Canadian Armed Forces members on shore and on water, including divers from 2 Combat Engineer Regiment and RCAF search and rescue technicians, an OPP Marine Unit, Petawawa and Pembroke Fire Departments, search and rescue aircraft from the RCAF's 424 Squadron, including a Griffin search and rescue helicopter and Hercules aircraft. We have also deployed physical barriers around parts of the crash scene to contain the fuel and prevent it from spreading. Royal Canadian Air Force Directorate of Flight Safety Investigators are beginning the work of a flight safety investigation. Les enquêteurs de la Direction de la Sécurité des vols de l'Aviation royale canadienne commencent une enquête. As we receive new information, we will continue to update Canadians as soon as it is appropriate to do so. Our thoughts remain with the crew of the helicopter, their loved ones, and all members of the 450 Squadron and Garrison Petawawa. We are here for you. We are here to support you in any way we can, especially during this difficult time. Nous sommes là pour vous et nous allons continuer à faire tout notre possible pour vous soutenir dans cette période difficile. Pour conclure, je voudrais remercier sincèrement tous qui sont intervenus sur les lieux de l'incident et qui ont participé aux efforts de recherche et de récupération. To conclude, I would like to extend my sincerest thanks to all those who responded to the incident and all those involved in the search and recovery efforts. I will now turn to General Wayne Eyre to offer further remarks.
Thank you, Minister. Now, first and foremost, on behalf of everyone in the Canadian Armed Forces, I want to address the broader tactical helicopter community and the friends, families, and colleagues of the crew of the Chinook that crashed yesterday. Vous êtes dans nos pensées, ainsi que dans nos cœurs, et nous ne ménageons aucun effort pour vous appuyer alors que vous traversez cette terrible épreuve. Je tiens aussi à transmettre mes remerciements personnels aux équipes de recherche et sauvetage, militaires et civils, aux policiers et aux pompiers qui se sont mobilisés hier pour nous aider à trouver nos coéquipiers qui manquent à l'appel afin que nous puissions les ramener à la maison. You are in our thoughts and in our hearts at this terrible time, and we will do everything to support you through it. I'd also like to offer my personal thanks to the military and civilian search and rescue, police, and firefighting personnel who have stepped up yesterday to help us find our missing teammates and bring them home. There is no higher calling than the service and defense of others. And it is this calling that each member of our armed forces hear when they don the uniform. We are reminded today that this can be dangerous work, whether it's carried out in support of military operations or while training for those operations. Our people know the risks, and they take them willingly, parce qu'ils comprennent l'importance de leur travail, parce qu'ils aiment leur pays, because they understand the importance of their work, because they love their country, and because they believe in the ideal of service before self. At times like this, our military community pulls together, united in our hopes for a quick and full recovery of those who were released from hospital late yesterday, and in the grief we share regarding the loss of two of our military family. 450 Tactical Helicopter Squadron, based at CFB Petawawa, flies the CH-147 F-model Chinook, a heavy-lift helicopter that plays a vital role in Canadian Armed Forces missions. Qu'il s'agisse de transport d'équipements lourds ou de personnel, de soutien médical ou des opérations d'évacuation, sans oublier l'appui des missions de recherche et sauvetage. Ils ont servi lors des déploiements expéditionnaires, de même qu'ici au pays, dans le cadre d'opérations menées en réponse à des catastrophes naturelles ou à d'autres situations de crise comme la pandémie de COVID-19. From transporting heavy equipment to personnel to medical support evacuation operations and support for search and rescue work. They have served in expeditionary operations and here at home in operations in response to natural disasters or other crises such as the COVID-19 pandemic. And they are especially proud of the critical support they provide to almost all aspects of Canadian Armed Forces operations. This is why this accident is so difficult for us to process. We have a long road ahead of us, and the Canadian Armed Forces will continue to support our members and their families throughout this difficult time. Thank you. Merci.
C'était un accident qui est lié à des problèmes techniques?
Merci pour la question. Toutes les circonstances de cet incident, c'est un sujet d'une enquête maintenant et cette enquête va découvrir les faits et les circonstances et quand nous avons d'autres informations, nous le partager avec vous.
Est-ce que vous pouvez, Madame Anand, est-ce que...
Ground the Chinook fleet. Are you planning to ground the fleet?
There is no formal pause in the operation of the fleet at this time. However, the fleet will take a pause out of respect for this tragic incident and all of the members of 450 Squadron. But as I said, it is not a formal operational pause.
What kind of exercise were they doing the night of the crash?
It was a night training exercise, and the crash occurred just after midnight during that training exercise with 4 members on board the helicopter.
En français, sur la flotte, est-ce qu'elle est clouée au sol et pour quelle raison?
Ce n'est pas une pause formale, ce n'est pas une pause opérationnelle à ce moment-là, mais le flotte et tout le monde va avoir une pause maintenant pour le respect de les familles et de victimes.
You said this in French, but I'm just wondering if you could explain what we know at all about what caused this crash and what the conditions were at the time.
The crash occurred just after midnight on June 20th during a nighttime training exercise with 4 members on board the helicopter. The exercise was a nighttime training exercise, and the crash occurred just after midnight during that exercise. 2 members were rescued, and 2 members were found, unfortunately, deceased.
There's a flight investigation happening. How long do you anticipate that to last, and when can we get some answers on the cause of this crash?
The investigation has commenced. Indeed, it has been in process, and it will go through all of the facts and all of the information surrounding the circumstances relating to the incident. And once that has occurred, it will conclude. But at this time, we don't have a specific date for its conclusion. Obviously, we want the investigation to be careful. We want the investigation to be fulsome and comprehensive, and therefore I am encouraging all involved to be as thorough as possible so that we can provide as much information as possible to the families, to the loved ones, to 450 Squadron, and indeed to Canadians.
Est-ce qu'il y a des causes, je comprends que vous n'avez pas identifié la cause encore, mais est-ce qu'il y a des causes possibles qui ont été écartées à ce moment-ci? Par exemple, un acte criminel, est-ce que ça a été écarté?
À ce moment-là, nous ne pouvons pas confirmer les causes, les détails de cet incident. C'est important d'être prudent à ce moment-là parce que nous devons avoir les faits, l'information. Et après ça, nous pouvons avoir des conclusions, mais nous devons attendre pour cette enquête. Et le processus, ça c'est important maintenant.
On the subject of the submersible, how much is that search and rescue operation costing, and where's it at?
We are continuing to support the United States that is leading the search and recovery effort. We recently deployed HMCS Glace Bay in support of those efforts. But right now, all of the direction and information gathering to reach conclusions and next steps is being led by the United States.
Any idea how much it costs so far?
At this point, we are trying to do whatever we can to save lives, and that is our most important priority.
Do you know how it happened yesterday that the Prime Minister appeared to confirm the deaths of these 2 service members before the military did?
The situation was evolving very rapidly. Information was coming in very quickly. The bottom line is that I am here today to provide information relating to the crash, and I will say that our hearts break for the members of 450 Squadron and the families who have lost their loved ones.
General Wayne Eyre, I just have a question. How did you feel about the Prime Minister announcing these deaths before the military did? Is that usual? Is that common?
So as the minister said, information was coming in very rapidly. And, you know, I hope that we take this opportunity to think about the families and share our thoughts and our prayers with them and not focus on creating any more controversy because we're all focused on doing the right thing. The right thing for the families, the right thing to determine the cause for this investigation, and so please respect that.
We don't have any more information.
Dans ces appareils-là, est-ce que vous l'avez retrouvé? Is there a black box in these helicopters, and did you find them?
So, l'enquête continue. Je ne sais pas le détail technique pour le hélicoptère, mais avec moi, nous avons le commandant par intérim de notre force aérienne, le Major General Sylvain Ménard. Je vais lui donner la parole.
Excusez-moi. Vas-y.
Merci pour la question. Oui, l'appareil a un enregistreur de bord et je n'ai pas plus d'informations à communiquer avec vous à ce moment-ci. Alors, l'enquête de sécurité des vols est en cours et lorsque nous allons avoir plus de détails, ce sera documenté et communiqué à ce moment-là. Mais merci de la question.
Pouvez-vous nous dire si vous l'avez en votre possession?
Non, je n'ai pas l'information encore. L'enquête est en cours. Alors, le processus a juste débuté, comme vous savez. Alors, je vous remercie de la question.
About what you just said?
Yes. So I can confirm that the helicopter has a recording device on board, what was referred to as a black box. But right now I have no information on whether it's recovered or not. And in due time, in a fulsome, once the thorough investigation is ongoing, we'll have more information to communicate at the time. Thank you for the questions.
Specific about what kind of a training exercise it was? Were there multiple aircraft? Were there personnel on the ground? What kind of training exercise was it?
So right now we're gathering all the information, part of the formal investigation, flight safety investigation. What I can confirm is just it was a normal, regular night training event that was taking place with the objective to train the first officer pilots, the two pilot members and two crew members, air crew in the back. So that's all the information that we have at this time. And
Crash happened in
Pilots
Canada
are the
before?
ones who are deceased?
excuse me.
Can you confirm that the two pilots are the ones who are deceased?
So as mentioned by the Minister of National Defense, by respect for the family, we're not going to discuss the status of the deceased, whether they were pilots or aircrew members. We refer to them as members of the crew. Thank you for the questions.
We have no other information about the potential cause, whether it was natural or something went wrong. We have no more information at this point about what actually happened.
So, as explained by the Minister, I would just like to say that right now we are starting a fulsome flight safety investigation, and we'd rather not speculate until we have the facts that are confirmed via a thorough, very scientific type of investigation. Please.
Did a crash happened in Canada before?
We've had one incident of the Chinook in the past, but I want to reiterate that right now it's a very, very good fleet that we are very happy with a great service record for this aircraft. So that's all I'm going to say at this point.
À propos du submersible, j'aimerais vous entendre en français.
Pardon, encore une fois, je peux pas...
Submersible ou du sous-marin, pouvez-vous nous dire quels sont les efforts en place de la part du Canada en ce moment?
Nous continuons d'appuyer les États-Unis avec ces efforts. Et premièrement, nous sommes là pour eux et pour les gens dans l'objet. Mais c'est important de continuer d'être là pour les efforts en total.
Pouvez-vous nous donner une idée des ressources qui sont déployées, combien ça coûte?
Je m'excuse.
Pouvez-vous nous donner une idée des ressources canadiennes qui sont déployées dans ces efforts et combien ça coûte aux Canadiens?
Oui, bien sûr. Un moment. Premièrement, nous avons un avion Aurora de l'aviation royale canadienne en provenance de Greenwood, fournit un soutien continu sur place. Aussi, l'Aurora fournit des capacités de recherche en surface et de détection acoustique sous la surface. Le navire de la Marine royale canadienne Glace Bay est également en route. Il fournit une équipe médicale spécialisée. Des navires de la garde côtière sont également en mesure d'apporter leur aide et le Centre de coordination des sauvetages maritimes de Boston est responsable de coordination des recherches et nous vous invitons à vous adresser à eux pour d'autres informations, mais ce sont des capacités canadiennes là.
Deceased been contacted, and were they aware at the time that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau spoke about their deaths?
We have been in contact with the families, including immediately following the tragic accident. Thank you.